Week 7, Day 2, Hands-on Love. When the Son of Man comes in his glory, and all the angels with him, he will sit on his glorious throne. All the nations will be gathered before him, and he will separate the people one from another, as a shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. He will put the sheep on his right and the goats on his left. Then the king will say to those on his right, "Come, you who are blessed by my Father, take your inheritance, the kingdom prepared for you since the creation of the world. For I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you invited me in. I needed clothes, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you looked after me. I was in prison, and you came to visit me." Then the righteous will answer him, "Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you something to drink? When did we see you a stranger and invite you in, or needing clothes and clothe you? When did we see you sick or in prison and go to visit you?" The king will reply, "Truly I tell you, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me." Matthew 25:31 through 40. Then Jesus said to his host, "When you give a luncheon dinner, to not invite your friends, your brothers or sisters, your relatives or your rich neighbors. If you do, they may invite you back, and so you will be repaid. But when you give a banquet, invite the poor, the crippled, the lame, the blind, and you will be blessed. Although they cannot repay you, you will be repaid at the resurrection of the righteous." Luke 14:12 through 14. It is in these passages we learn that Jesus expects his followers to be concerned about and to care for those less fortunate than themselves, inside and outside the family of believers. As followers of Jesus, we will be held accountable for the ways we treat others. And as we care for the marginalized and oppressed, it is as if we are caring for Jesus himself. When we consider these words, it changes the way we see those in need. Jesus knew he would make us uncomfortable by telling us these things. Look at the passage again and focus on whom it describes: hungry, thirsty, homeless, shivering, sick, incarcerated, overlooked, and ignored. That's a long list. Many times we describe those less fortunate than ourselves as poor and needy. It is this way of thinking that gives us the easy solution of giving money to the problem and considering our job done. But when we really listen to what Jesus is saying, we understand it is more than just giving money to the problem. It is being involved and part of the solution. Look at the action statements in this passage. You fed, you gave, you stopped, you came, you did. These are relational words. They aren't things you can do from afar. These are actions that require you to be there, to be involved. These are words that show love for another person. By this, everyone will know that you are my disciples if you love one another. John 13:35. Notice it doesn't say, give your money and that will prove you follow Jesus Christ. It says if you love one another. It's about relationship. Following Jesus means rolling up your sleeves and getting involved in each other's lives. Jesus was God incarnate, meaning he became a man and came to us. God didn't love us from up in heaven. He pursued us, found us, loved us. He meets us right where we are and scoops us up in his arms. No matter our state of being, this is a model of how we are to serve others. We must go. We must get our hands dirty and walk alongside those who need our help. This is not to say money isn't the way to give and help the poor, but money isn't the fix-all for poverty. And we aren't talking about a good deed here and there. And we aren't talking about a good deed here and there. Good deeds may be a result of love, but they are not one and the same. They can't replace meeting the needs of others by being there, reaching out, touching lives, and truly loving each other. That is how Jesus met the needs of others, how he meets our needs, and is what he expects of those who follow him.